This is the Bottom Line Sports Show with Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
Imagine you trade a Chet Holmgren for a Giannis Antetokounmpo.
These guys are athletic as you know what, and you go like, oh my gosh, where's the fundamentals? Where's the pass first mentality? That's not in the league anymore.
And now here's your host, Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
Okay, what's up, everybody? We back. Yes, we back. Rick, fix your face. Fix your face, Rick. Don't you start. Fix your face. Get your clean white shirt on.
It's called cream. It's not a white shirt.
It's cream.
You know,
It's pastel.
I swear, I see you're underestimating a lot of stuff. This is how I roll. It's nice outside. You got to have on something crisp. Otherwise, you ain't working.
Hey, man, we got a dynamic show as always. But before we get all the particulars, make sure you go out, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Beeline Sports Show, as well as follow me, follow Rick on.
Stop clapping your hands, man. I don't want to hear you clapping. You act like you play basketball or something. You was a ball boy. This what you was doing underneath the basket. Tell us a story about you being under the basket and me throwing something at you.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Because you wouldn't have did that. You weren't raised like that.
Oh, now I'm a liar, huh?
You never threw anything at me. You never. Just get ready to start doing lawn work.
Hey, look. Let's get into particulars. This is listen. Playoffs start now. Season's over.
Well,
I don't want to hear your lifestyle. Your lifestyle sucks.
Well, we have our engineer, our editor of the show, as well as he's going to prepare some questions that he has. A little segment we call Justin's Take, where Justin Page will be joining us a little bit later. Let's talk about, obviously, the play-in tournament. You have the game starting out with the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Miami Heat, and then you have the Phoenix Suns taking on the Portland Trailblazers. You know, Rick, you're in a different situation because obviously you're sitting at the top of the heap with the Detroit Pistons. When you look at these teams obviously fighting in there to get into the playoffs, what are your overall thoughts of these four teams? Well, maybe these three teams, because Miami seems like it's always a sort of a run-of-the-mill for them that every year they're there.
It's called Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what Eric Spoelstra's got in his bag of tricks, or you don't know what player's going to come up and show off their game. Here's the thing: when I look at the matchups, when I look at the Charlotte Hornets and the Miami Heat, that's one that who's going to win that game or who's going to lose that game. I think Charlotte is playing at a higher level because they play with such speed, but their defense is suspect. Miami does the same thing. They, what they're made of is they come with that speed and try to outscore you. So this should be a very interesting game. That's a pick 'em to me when I look at it. But if you don't play defense, you ain't gonna win too many games.
I get what you're saying. And the interesting thing is that when you look at some of these teams, right, getting into this space of getting into the play-in tournament, do you ever look at one of these teams, if any of them trying to do what Miami did a few years back when they made it to the NBA Finals?
Well, did Miami play in the play-in game to get to the NBA Finals?
I think they did, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not mistaken. I mean, I don't know because I don't keep up with those lower base teams a little bit, but I look at it and I'm not disrespecting them. But when it's one and done at one point, and then the losers will play the next round to see if they can make the eighth spot. So you look at it, you still got life, but these are just one game. This is like the NC2A. This is one game, and you could be going home.
Yeah, going home. Now, obviously, as we always do when we get a chance, as we were off last week and the season culminated, you look at the Detroit Pistons. What is this time like? Obviously, go back from your experience being
Get back.
Get back. You don't listen. What is that experience like? Walk us through what it's like when you have this time off. Now, obviously, there was no play-in tournament that took place, but what do you
back in the day.
get back in the day? What do you look at this time? What is the most important thing that is required for the Detroit Pistons as they have a little time off before the actual playoffs start?
Well, a lot of times, the players need some rest, but also you have to tweak those things that you're weakest at because you hang your hat on defense. It's the fact that how can we get more shots, in an effective way? You try to go over your execution till it's perfect. Chuck Daly would always say, let's execute it until you know it by the back, like the back of your hand. And you also look at your defensive side. You look at you don't worry about what the other team's going to do. You worry about what you're going to do. So if you play the Charlotte Hornets, you know this team's going to push the ball every time. It's going to be fast paced. But if you're the Pistons, you're going to control it because there's two halves to every game, and some teams will come out fast. But I always say in sports, in basketball, especially in team sports, a lot of times fast horse runs slow in the second half.
Mm, mm.
So
We-
when the preparation that you do as a coach and as a player, being on both of those sides of the coin, you look at it and say, okay, what do I need to do more of for a team? You already played these 82 games, but now you're in a 7-game series. You achieve the goal of having the best record in the Eastern Conference, but how do you keep it? By protecting home. You can lose. You say, okay, I want to win all my home games, but just in case something happens, and it's always just in case when you do get hit and say, "Oh man, we should have won that game, but we lost it." Now the advantage comes to the home court comes to the weaker seeded team.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at these teams like the Hornets, congratulations are in order for them, as well as the Blazers and the Phoenix Suns. And it's not excluding Miami because they've been there before, but these are
But what
franchise.
about Golden State?
Well, Golden State as well, right? Golden State
Okay,
is,
yeah.
but I wanted to focus on Charlotte, Portland, and Phoenix. Because you look at these teams, Rick, in terms of trying to find an identity. Obviously, we had a lot of the stuff that transpired before the season started, if you will, for the Portland Trailblazers, but really trying to figure out who they are. They left,
Hmm.
traded away Damian Lillard, brought him back. He's not in it. Get back. He's not playing, but still they're trying to find their way. Same thing with Phoenix. Made the moves, traded Kevin Durant away, still have Devin Booker there, and still trying to figure out their identity with that franchise. And then we know about
If
Charlotte, the same
but
thing.
if you don't figure out your identity during the regular season, how the hell are you gonna turn it on in the playoffs?
Well, that's the biggest question: is this a situation where they're playing with house money, right? If you look at
And
these,
that's what you look at. They're playing with house money. They don't
right?
have anything to lose. Expectations are not high. But then when you're in that locker room as the underdog, you want to say, "Oh, it's this." Like I said, it's the NC2A's one. It's a one gamer, and you go, "Okay, let's see what we can do in 7 games." The play-in is just to get in to the playoffs. And the fact is, all you got to do is win one game. And if you don't win one game, you got a chance to win another game. And that's how you have to look based on because other teams don't know what you're going to do until you do it. What adjustments will you make? A lot of times, a leopard doesn't change his spots. They're going to be who they are, and it'll be okay. We're here for 4 game. It'll be 4-0, 4-0. All the predictions, all the people out there, the naysayers out there saying, "Oh, they don't have a chance in hell." I mean, I look at Orlando and I'm saying, now that's a veteran team. And you
Right.
go, or you look at Philadelphia, they got some veterans on there. But then you look at Charlotte, it's like, okay, we ain't been here before, but let's have fun. Or you look at Portland Trailblazers and you go, we had a lot of controversy all through the year. Now we can get down to real basketball. So these things come into play. All that stuff that was said during the regular season doesn't matter anymore. It's 0-0.
I want to ask you about that. You mentioned about Orlando. Do you put them in a veterans category? Because when you look at them, especially now when you talk about playoff experience, they're relatively young. You know what I'm saying, Rick? And when you look at them, do you still put them in there in that core group of teams tomorrow? Because I think it's really dynamic how the play-in tournament, those teams are situated, and you look at them. You're talking about obviously tomorrow. You're talking about Golden State, veteran, been there, done that. Same thing with the Clippers, been there, done that. Orlando
Miami,
and Philly.
Clippers. Yeah,
When
it's
I'm talking about playing tomorrow, do you still look at Orlando as a veteran team?
I look at Orlando as just a team. You said identity. What
Right.
is their identity? And
Exactly.
you go. Is Franz Wagner coming back? I hope I'm saying that right. Will he be ready to play? They're playing with house money, Gerald. It's like, hey, I'm a get in here, do the best I can in this one game. Only way that being in the play-in is just one and done or one and go. It's like anything in regular, in college sports. It's a whole different animal when you got to play that damn team seven times. You got a 7 game series. You got to win 4 out of the 7 games.
Question to you, and as well as the question to everybody out there. Keep it real. Shout out to Cornbread. Do you like the play-in tournament? Is it a success? Is it something that obviously we have been acclimated to? I say it's the NBA version of the Major League Baseball's wild card. Do you like or dislike the play-in tournament?
Listen, I don't have a horse in the race. It doesn't matter. You get a chance to go there. This is something that you can build as marketing for your team the next year. We played in this game. We're taking the next step. This is, to me, it's like, okay, I could care less about the playing game.
Yeah, I think it works. I think it really works because again, when you
I
look at
don't. I don't. And let me. I don't, because now you're putting stress. You're playing one game, and then now you got to go play a 7 game series. I'm like this. Let it go 1-8, and that's it. Let's go.
No, but Rick, it's a lot of these teams. First of all, look, let's be clear. We've had an issue with people complaining about the players playing and not playing, right? So now we're in a situation where, again, to make up for that, we're playing more basketball. It ain't like they getting on a Greyhound or they got to go through TSA to get on a commercial flight. No,
I
they're
did that,
flying.
Gerald. So what else is new?
My point is that first of all, you said you didn't care. Then all of a sudden you don't like it. Why you don't
I
like it?
don't. You asked me. I don't like it because a lot of times you go, okay, we got to go. Okay, so we look at an away game, and you got to go way. If you're Phoenix, right? In Phoenix, they play. Who do they go to? I don't even know.
Phoenix
Well,
is playing. I believe Phoenix. Well, if they win, Phoenix is obviously playing Portland right now.
okay, so they fly all the way to Portland. Okay, they go all the way to Portland and play this one game. If
Right.
they lose, then you gotta pray. You gotta prepare to go to. If you're trying to make it, you got to go somewhere else. Maybe you got to fly to LA. You're doing some, to me, unnecessary travel, because once you do that, you have to go from, let's just say Miami goes and comes and have to play the Pistons, but they go from Miami to Charlotte, then they ain't gonna have time to go home.
Well, I mean, you've been acclimated to that type of travel for at least what, half of the year?
82 games, Gerald. I know, 82 games. But it's a whole different thing when you pack and saying I'll be up in Detroit for a week. And then all of a sudden, but you still got to play this game to get to go to Detroit.
Well, I think it works. I think the
That's
biggest
your
thing.
opinion. And that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I don't think it works. I'd rather see 1-8. Get it going now and let it go.
Well, no, I think the biggest thing is that the reason why I like it, and I think clearly, is because now you give some type of a building block for those teams,
For
like
next year.
yeah, for next year. I mean, it's a lot better than the summer league, and
Well,
saying
okay, so if they did the lottery and said and teams are tanking just to get the number one pick, You know, a lot of times I like the lottery because it gives you other teams a chance to get the number one pick, and they may have a better, worse loss record than the team that should have got the number one pick.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because again, now you give those teams that obviously they have
I
an
just
opportunity.
said it was marketing that opportunity to make the. Yeah, it's marketing, Gerald.
It's marketed. I mean, it's a great thing. But on the flip side of that, from a player standpoint, is it a situation where you look at a team, let's say the Pistons or some of the other top tier teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder? Do you worry about rust when you have too much rest?
You always
Because
worry about
you have it.
you can never simulate what a NBA game is. You can't never simulate any kind of game. The only thing you could do is execute plays. It's like going to training camp without, going to training camp with and just say I'm gonna just go to training camp to get in shape. And next thing you know, you're behind the eight ball. I don't I mean to me, is it rust? No, because these guys, it ain't going, it ain't going to take you out for a week.
I mean, no, I understand that, and I think the biggest thing is that you know what, guys are creatures of habits. You know, now you're right. Are you practicing? Are you trying to simulate something we're doing two a days? Are you in a space where you let guys rest up? I mean, if you look at the Pistons in terms of just health standpoint, you know, obviously having that extra time for guys to, you
But
know,
having guys who are hungry, that's the thing, Gerald. A lot of times you cannot simulate game situations, but you can practice game situations, and hopefully when the light bulb comes on in their head, they're already ready and prepared. I could just only give you from my experience of being in the playoffs. The fact is, when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, we all made a vow as a team. Well, we want to win. We want to have the best record. We end up losing to the Lakers that year. Then we said to come back and say we would need the best record in the league. We had the best record in the league, so they had to come through. They had to come through Detroit once you get there. So if you had that mentality, you know, you just prepare for it. Your mentality is that you want to seek and destroy and you want a championship. This is what you got to do.
do
Eh,
we've heard and upcoming Charles Oakley, we getting all set up to get his thoughts on just obviously these playoffs. But Rick, when you look at from a player's perspective, is it really true that guys really, you know, especially if you're talking about championship aspirations, that you value being on the road more so than being at home? Because obviously,
Distractions. You got
yeah,
distractions, and you got people who, if these are your friends or your family, they understand. They should understand. Don't need that bullshit right now. Don't need that bullshit.
well, let's join in right now. This is a gentleman that you know what is always a friend. Always in
What's
shape.
going on, guys?
The one and only Mr. Charles Oakley joining us right
H
here.
I'm
HBCU baby. You
I'm
see
sorry I'm
that?
late. I had to go. My daughter wanted some American deli. I told her I'm all American in the car.
oh,
Hey,
thanks again for joining us. And first and foremost, man, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
you're
Trying to keep
looking
it
good.
going.
You're looking good, Oak, with all that in your face. I
I
can't
know,
get.
man. Hey, Rick, I'm about to cut it off, man.
Man, I can't even get gray. I'm trying, but
Man,
No,
it's all
you
right.
put that stuff in your hair.
no, Gerald,
Nah.
you putting
Hey,
that stuff
Rick.
in your head.
One
What's
thing.
up?
One thing about you. You never got. You always kept a number 2 clippers or lower. You keep your hair low. You get a
You
1 or
right.
2 and get it fade on the side. That's a Hampton
Yep, that's
University
it.
style.
Hey, that's back that old school. Old long as that hairline ain't creeping like Gerald's going
Oh
back, back,
yeah,
back, 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 back.
yeah. Gerald don't have to let his top back. He got it already back.
You
Okay,
got
as always, always great to see you, man. And you know, I was just asking Rick, and I want to get your thoughts on this. When you look at the play-in tournament, do you like or dislike the play-in tournament thus far?
Dislike. I don't like nothing you added on after 40 years. Dislike. It's a waste of time.
it's this,
Honor
Gerald.
the guys who play all year to get in the top 8, not the guys in the top 12. You know what I'm saying?
But see, Oak, when I'm talking to Gerald, he thinks it's exciting, but it's more wear and tear on your body. You travel from, let's just, I'm using Phoenix for example. You
Oh
fly
yeah,
4 hours all the way to go to Portland. Say you do win. Then what if Houston wins? You got to fly all the way down to Houston, and you
yeah.
play them 2 games there. You're on the road. It's like, man, just do the top 8 and leave it alone. They just threw that in there, Gerald, because there's
Top
more
eight.
money, fool.
Honor the guys who put the work in. Like I said, all star. If you don't make the all star team, hey, you fight for the top 7, 8 guys. I mean, top 7, 8 teams. Start the season right after the season. Start the playoff. We don't need all this extra stuff. It just hurt. It's putting. They always talking about wear and tear. That's what you're doing. You're tearing your body down, and then they don't have great bodies.
Well, they don't play any old way. So I mean, people complain about them not playing enough games. So I mean, hell, you got to be able to do something, be able to be in a space where at least the fan gets feels at least that they're not being slighted or cheated and stuff. When you look at this whole playoffs, and we were just talking about obviously when you're in that space, you had an opportunity being in that space several times, just like Rick, where is it really true as a player that you appreciate being on the road more so than being at home? And really, does home court advantage really matter that much?
I think it mattered back in the days, but now it really don't. I think some teams just get hot. Other teams don't know how to make guys the best guy on that team, make him do what he don't want to do. But it's just a different time, Gerald. You can see you watching the game, and sometimes some of these games is hard to watch. But in our days, people they just gonna watch the game because they know something exciting gonna happen. It'll be low scoring game. You can see who your IQ at. These guys who come off the bench know they only gonna play 7, 8 minutes. The starters gonna play a lot of minutes. So it's a different ball game.
Okay, we both coming from HBCU schools, CIAA all the way. And
Yep.
and when did you ever have? And I'm taking it. I'm not. I'm going back, Gerald. I'm sorry. I'm not staying in the playoff.
That's
But
okay.
did you ever think that was that your goal to make it to the NBA? Because it damn sure wasn't mine.
We're I'm on the same train you on. Going to a small historic black college back in the 80s and 90s, and you get a brother make it to the NBA, that was a blessing because I think maybe before we made it, probably 1 or 2 guys. Daniel, probably Walk and Earl Monroe, probably the only guys who really, from the CIAA. There's some other guys who made it. But from the CIAA was right, that was the honor. You know, we go at black college, homecoming, the football events, and just it's a school that you meet people, enjoy the time while you're there. When you leave, hope that you get out and get a job and get and connecting, people who went to school, went there later in life. But I never thought that I'd be, especially get drafted in the top 10. Rick, that was amazing.
Yeah, man, it's been amazing. It's an amazing journey for me. You mentioned, Earl of Pearl, Bobby Dandridge. I even look at it, go to Purvis Short, Willis
Yeah,
Reed,
yeah,
Sam Jones,
yeah,
Al Adams. I'm sitting there going
yeah,
like, and you go, I didn't know they were in, when I was in school, I was like, they went to North Carolina A&T, and this dude went
yeah.
to, Grambling, and you go, man. I never knew, nothing coming from a Division 2. You go like, man, I'm just there to have some fun and play
Fun.
basketball.
Yep, it
And
was all about.
even when I look at like Earl Lloyd, I
Oh
look
Lord,
at
yeah.
I got a picture of him over there in my corner in my office, man,
Okay.
right there, and between him and Jackie Robinson. I mean, that's I mean, no, Jackie Robinson. I'm looking at this stuff, man, and I go around and I'm like, man, I didn't realize I was in the NBA till my third year.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It hit me, and I was like, really, that the work I put in, just being around my parents, grandparents, my parents, and just a lot of them didn't go to college. They had to work and they had to make end meet for the other kids growing up. So it was a blessing for me to be able to get a scholarship, and my mom didn't have to pay. And 4 years of union, and hey, if I had to do it all over, I'd do it the same way because it's just a grit. It's a grit when you go into black college.
Hey, y'all was playing today. That'd be, y'all be worth $4-5 million off the rip. All right.
No, but here's the thing.
HBCU, but
I
y'all got
got
that big money waiting now. Come on now.
but I got one more thing, one more question. Oh, when I look at today's college, games, and Hampton got a couple of guys got plucked with that NIL and this
Right.
transfer portal.
Porter.
It takes away from the integrity to me of the game of basketball. How about you?
Yeah. Oh no, no doubt, man. I think that Union, we never got nobody in the portal and nobody who we can pay to even think about come to Union leaving. So, I mean, it's just what the schools don't have the money. The black college don't have the money. I think maybe one or two maybe can afford a guy, maybe 50,000, 100,000, but I'm not going past that. But I think the ones you get now is really guys that it's leftovers, and sometimes you got to put it together. You got now just when you got a coach in the black college league now because the portal is not there, and you're getting guys what they done in high school, and a lot of guys in high school now they look good against these guys who really can't play. But now when you get stepped up and go to college, it's another level.
Yeah. I wanted to ask both of you guys this, and I'll start off with you, Oak, then get your thoughts on this, Rick. I was talking to somebody a while ago, and they were having this perception of the basketball players in your era, you guys' era as power forwards. And really, I had to check them because they said, well, they didn't really have that much of a skill because they were an enforcer. All you see them doing is fouling people and all this stuff. And I was like, no, you had to sacrifice a lot to fill a role, to be in that space,
Right.
not only make the team, but play at the elite level. When you hear things like that, and I'll start with you, Oak, do you ever feel like the roles that you guys played were always, in a sense, underappreciated and undervalued?
I mean, you can look at it both ways, but my thing is when we played back in the days, it was more structured. They drafted somebody that knew could play that position. They ain't just draft somebody because they was best talent. They draft a guy in a position that they expected, power forward, you play with power. You're a shooting guard, be a shoot. So everybody have real skill levels when they drafted you back in the day. Now they just draft you because such he can play, he overseas, he can do this and that. No, they knew that when they draft you, you was gonna do that. You was gonna produce. It wasn't no bust back in our era. You didn't hear about a lot of busts. Guys had to know to get on the floor. You had to have an IQ and know how to play. Yeah, we set roles, but you still had to do your job.
Yeah.
And
Rick,
to piggyback on that,
but
as
Rick, I want
well.
to just throw this in there, Rick,
Okay.
before you answer. When you look at a guy like Isaiah Stewart, you're talking about obviously he's kind of molded in that same setup like you guys and stuff like that. When you look at a guy like Isaiah Stewart, do you feel that it's kind of overlooked and undervalued, let alone underappreciated?
I think no. But what he doing, he making a name for himself because he blocking shot, rebound, being put back. Everybody need a guy like that. They can say all they want, a stretch 4, stretch 5, this and that, but you need a tough guy, a guy ain't gonna, a no nonsense guy on your team, got everybody back. That's what we did. And Rick was, he had Isaiah, all them other Joe Dumar. I had Mike Scott. You know what I'm saying? We had to know guys. We made guys better because we had their back. Now I was just talking to somebody the other day. Yeah, I played with Michael Jordan, Scott, and Patrick, but everybody I played with was a top tier guy. I made them better. You can say Michael averaged 35, 40, but you know what? How you get the rebound? Who met the picks? Who came out and set the tone every night? It's all of that. People don't talk about that. I don't understand. We got all the younger guys on TV who we made, Vince and Tracy, them guys. You got to talk about what guys made it easy for them. They would have got beat up. They ain't had nobody on their team.
Yeah,
that's how basketball was.
Yeah. Now, Rick, I was just saying, obviously, in that space, and you're seeing guys. You saw a Ben Wallace, obviously another HBCU basketball player alum. Your thoughts, do you ever felt like that role and stuff like that was undervalued? Because again, you guys had to lay the wood. You had to sit back and be the enforcer as opposed to being guys that could score, which you guys did in college and stuff.
Rick, one thing before you answer that question, only thing hurt us, we didn't get the money that we should have by playing our position. Look at Draymond. Draymond, is a prime example. He could have played our era, but he getting money for who he playing with. You know what I'm saying? We got shortchanged on that. That's the only thing I see the difference is. They pay these guys if they, that's a position or not. They still get paid. We don't. We had to get paid. It was a slot. And that's the only big difference that I can see now than when we played. Because the big two guys on the team gonna get paid in our era, and it's something like like saying Draymond playing with Clay and Curry. He still got his money, even though he was a role player.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Rick, we can't hear you. Your mic is off. Unmute your mic.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I look and when I hear Oak talking about, Draymond, we were the role players that sacrificed our offense for these guys to relish like a Isaiah and a Joe Dumars because hey, they needed that toughness. And
Right.
when I got traded from
The
Washington,
feeling.
I had Jeff Rulin. And
Ruling.
Let me just tell you something. Jeff Rulin could score. Jeff Rulin can he could score them little short arms and he was mean as hell. And the fact is, we grew up knowing that we were hungry. And the fact everybody looks at us and say we were just a bunch of thugs and bums. No, we never got the glorification. You talked about Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's a throwback. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
you would love that dude. And you know who else you would love? Uh, Green, Javante Green. I
Yeah.
mean, you got throwback guys that do their role because they get paid well for that. And I thought I got paid well because even making 60,000 my first year, I was like,
Right.
I ain't never seen that much money in my
Right.
life.
Yeah. Well, but, yeah.
You talk about a welfare kid at one time.
Right. Well, you
Uh,
can definitely say that because, like I said, the salary wasn't really that high. You look at Michael Jordan and some other guys; they weren't even the top paid guys in our era. Late on in life, the money went up. It's a contract. If you sign a long term, you're gonna get what they pay you. But somebody else might sign for more and more, and you're a better player. And now that's what they're going by. Whoever set the bar, the next guy gonna get if he that good or not. It's just a different game.
it's a different game. It's all about the money now because you
Yeah.
figure
Oh yeah.
teams are worth 1.2 billion and things of that nature. But and they also got the teams are making just as much more money even with the television contracts.
But you know what, Rick? They hid the money from us, but now they got to pay the guys, and they don't match the money. I think about 85% of the league is overpaid, and
Mm.
nothing they can do about it because the money go up every year. They got to give it to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. When we look at these playoffs, obviously the New York Knicks are the number one
Boo!
seed.
Excuse me.
Sitting
That's what
right,
I think of the Knicks.
Hey,
the Pistons right up there. The Knicks are going to open up against the Atlanta Hawks. What are your thoughts about this New York Knicks team, and what do you think will be the key for them to have at least a nice deep playoff run?
I think last year the Knicks it was right there. It was dinner on the table. They went to somewhere else, Popeyes, but they they got the talent, and they still fighting within themselves. They don't know they really know their roles, and they really know Cat and Bronson. That's their team. OG, Bridges, and Hart. I mean, he's like the fork and knife. But I think that they got to come out because teams gonna be like, hey, I think Atlanta was saying they want to play the Knicks. When teams saying that, they ain't afraid of you, but they can just be whooping, but scared of you too. But I think they just got to come out and show team that hey, we got a new coach and the guys on the court got to come together. I think Bronson's a leader, but sometimes is other guys try to do too much. I think they bench. It went for Mitchell Robinson. They got 3 or 4 guys just come in and score, but Mitchell Robinson is the key off the bench for them, whatever they do. He need to average 25 minutes to 27 minutes from the first playoff game into the last one because offensive rebound, he can't nobody block him out. He just like a Moses Malone. He just make the offensive, he get them second shots. And that's how the Bulls won championship with Dennis Rodman getting offensive rebound, throwing it back out, Paxton or somebody hitting the wide open threes. You get 2 or 3 offensive rebounds and you make 3 threes a game, that's big.
Okay, and that's what I look at. Do you think that does sometimes when I look at it, it's like does Cat is he why is he outside? He ain't like Lambeer. Lambeer was outside and
Right. Because
me
that's what
I
he can
did
do.
the
Right.
dirty work. Yeah, but when I look at that team from last year, I thought that the identity that I don't see their identity. What is their identity?
Well, you can say that. My thing is, why don't come down the court and run post up a cat? I watched him play Atlanta the other night. I mean, Cat been playing great maybe the last 15, 20 games, standing within himself, not taking a lot of shots, probably shooting 60% from the field. Put him in the post. You got to double team him. He's 7-1. I mean, come on, Mike Brown. Stop trying to run this wide open offense. Put the best player on the post. You got the best player on Brunson. Run the 2-man game. They're gonna have to double team him, and he's gonna get 40. Why do you? Yes, you have to go to him. Get them other guys, them little guys in foul trouble. The outside go open up. That's why I can't see that why you won't post Cat up in the block. He can
And
shoot the
that's why
turnaround. Go ahead.
and that's why when you say Mitchell Robinson needs to get 25 minutes, that's where with him and Cat on there, then Cat doesn't have to do that dirty work in the paint. That's what I
He don't
miss.
want to.
That's what I think
Cat
about.
don't
He
want.
don't want none of that.
Well, just like Pam and Pastor, he ain't want to do nothing dirty way. He just want to shoot the turnaround jumper, this and that. But my thing is, I've played with him. Sometimes you got to realize that get Cat going early, and then he gonna be around. You don't get him going early, he gonna be like a gag. He gonna be, in and out, ain't rotating, ain't that second effort.
How
So that's what
how
Brown got. It's too late. You ain't figured it out about now. You ain't gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, when you look at Cleveland and Toronto, obviously that's another of the matchups and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure out who Cleveland is. Obviously, they make the deal, bring in James Harden, and then you still look at that front court and you still say, hey, Evan Mobley, he has all this talent. But is it time now for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as well as the Toronto Raptors, who are really, again, trying to establish themselves back into sort of one of the top tier teams in the East? How do you look at that matchup?
I mean, it's a coin toss. I mean, Cleveland ain't showing they've been dominant like they did last year. Toronto's, playing better than they played last year. They got some scores. Uh, I mean, Cleveland should win the series, but I mean, I don't trust Cleveland. In the last couple of years, they had, win 6 a game, did this and that. They lose in the second round. So they got to show me something. They got to sweep Toronto, beat them win the series and, in a good fashion, not just close game, winning by 10 or 15 points. Let me see that growth. Because right now, can't trust them.
Yeah, when you look at the matchup with that, not only that matchup, but when you look at teams that are in this, in the playing game, what team
Right.
worries you coming out of the East?
Um, I mean, I would say Philly, but he get injured every day. I probably would pick maybe Miami. Because of experience, a couple of their guys on the team. A couple of years they was in the finals, and Spoelstra's a good coach. I mean, they are this a type of year playoff. They get grinding. They're gonna play defense, and they got a couple of guys can make shots.
Yeah. When you look at that Western Conference, I think we had talked about this the other day. OKC has obviously been there, done that. But you look at San Antonio and how they match up so well. I think it all boils down to matchups. How do you look at that Western Conference in terms of just who you can see being that team that can sort of elevate themselves over everybody else?
Well, now that's gonna be a tough. OKC last couple of years and showed that they great. They gonna play you in your. They gonna get in your face. They got SCA can make the shot. They play well together. I mean, I don't know if you go around the league who got the best 1-2 punch. They don't really hungry. I mean, what's his name? The kid from Gonzaga.
Yeah, Chet Holmgren.
Yeah. So he having a great year. Give me that. I mean, he showed me something this year. He's shooting like 55% from the field, averaging like 18 points. But he's a problem. He can block shots. If he played the way he been playing this year, I don't think San Antonio can beat him. But San Antonio got the best player in the game. You got to win is the best player in the game. What he can do. Other night he had 40 and 26 minutes, and they got San Antonio got great wing guys. They got great athletes. They got guys who can make shots. They always say, well, Denver is good too. They've been there, done that. But I think that if you get them in the series, I think San Antonio can beat Denver. And that San Antonio is coursing, but I think they got enough talent. Do they have no experience? That's a key. And I think the wild card out there is probably I don't see what Houston's gonna do with KD, and I don't know. I don't see nobody else. In Minnesota is like I said, last 2 years they've been in Western Conference Finals, so they always gonna play like Minnesota, heckler and jekyll, crazy. But they sometime away in the playoff, they find the win. They win some series. Minnesota,
Yeah.
they got the big boy in the middle, and they got good wing guys. And the West gonna be a tough. They're gonna be a tough out there. All them teams with them young athletes and, like I said, young stars. The West gonna be something to watch in the playoff.
No
Yeah.
Lakers.
No
I ain't.
Lakers.
Hey,
Ain't no, no,
we
ain't
ain't
nobody think
The
about no
Lakers ain't
Lakers.
talking about Lakers. Why we gonna talk about the Lakers? I
They're
wish
already
LeBron
mad.
all the luck, but LeBron, you can't expect a man 40 some years old. Now he got to come out and average 35. Long as he playing by himself. They had a good run the last month and a half of the season. Probably won 15 out of 18 games, 15 out of 19 games. But now everything coming to like we need them guys who's making them shots. Then on that run, they make them in the playoffs. It's totally different. The rim is small in the playoffs. I don't care what nobody
Mm.
say. Now this when
Yes,
the pressure come on.
Yeah.
yeah, and as long as you don't not playing that physical style of defense, you set the tone in your identity. Speaking of identities, what is Boston's identity to you?
I don't know. I mean, Brown did a hell of a job with Taylor out all year, come out the last month and a half, and I think that even though he playing, getting shots, but I think in the playoff he's going to tighten up a little. He's a veteran, but that body got to be in playoffs. Shape to play in playoff. And he gonna get bumped a little more. It's just gonna be a little tough on Boston. But a lot of people like Boston in the East. I don't
I
see
don't
it.
say.
Also, I think the Knicks got their number and they got Detroit. You can't overlook Detroit because they're young and they don't have a shooter, but they play defense. They got one of the best players in the league. Cade come back, and I think that Detroit is the toughest team in the whole league. Than the Knicks maybe, but I think Detroit got a lot to say about who come out the East this year.
Yeah.
Mm.
I got two more questions before I let you get on out of here. Oakland, really appreciate this. I want to ask both of you guys this, and obviously you guys have played in the NBA Finals. You guys have had the experience of playing this type of basketball and knowing what this time of the year it feels like, and with the memories of having success, some failures and stuff. Do you guys ever miss it at this point? And I'll start with you, Rick. Do you ever miss it, especially around this time of the year?
I do miss it. It's just like, football. You smell it in the air, knowing what time it is. What time is it? It's time to try to win a chip. And the
Yep.
fact is, I love it because I like playing extended. Back when I did, when I did play, I love playing extended seasons because all eyes are going to be on you. You're the
Yep.
only two teams in that finals, and every game counts. And it's like
Mhm.
the TV sets on. People are at the sports bars at their house. Man, you talk about, man, that feeling. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Just being in the finals, even as when the Pistons won in the '04 boys. Oh man, I was getting goosebumps and I wasn't even damn playing, Oak. I was
Yeah,
sitting there going like, and
I
then hold
know.
on, Oak. Then the year starts the following year. They give me a ring. I'm sitting there going like, well, damn, I'm just here. I just
Right.
enjoy this.
Yeah.
It brings us. You know what? You don't want the season to stop. A lot of
Right.
times, oh, it's a long season. Hell no. You
Right.
want to play basketball that whole time. And
Yeah.
that's the fun about it because all eyes are on you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no
But
place. It's no place like New
hey,
York. And you
It's
was
it's, it's
obviously
girl. My first I made the playoff my first 13 years of my career, 14 years. And your first couple years, it's like magic. It's hard to come in your rookie and win the championship. But just playing the playoff that many years and it's a build up. And then once you get there, finally get there, we got there 94, it was just like, man. But it's a hell of a feeling. And especially when we play in Houston, and we went up 3-2, and we lost two straight, but it was just like, man. And one thing I saw was, Rick, the team who up 3-2, you see them with the shirts, the wine, all that shit. And I made a mistake. I was walking out late or something, and I seen them pushing down the hallway, and I like, damn. To myself, and then we lost, and they pushed it back the other way. That's a fucked up feeling, man. You
Oh,
see that?
dude. Oh, I'm gonna give you one. Oak. I'm gonna give you one. So we out in LA in '88, and they already we're up 3-2 coming into LA because they went 2-3-2.
Right.
coming back to LA, what they say? They put at halftime. They had all the plastic and tape and taping up,
Wow.
blocking off the locker room. Man, we walk in there and after we lost, man, they took that damn tape down. Man, that's all it hurt feeling. That was
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah,
That was fucked up.
yeah. And I saw that. I'm like, damn, we right here. And man, we lost both of them. That's the fucked up thing. You had a chance to win. We had win one out of the two, but and like I said, it's hard to get back. I didn't ever get back, but some guys in their career got back. But it's just like I said, Rick said, on Sundays or whatever day that game, that championship, everybody's watching. People don't go to church. I just see people like, man, I just not even go to church just to watch the game. We just, everybody just had all eyes on the game. They know it's gonna
Yeah.
be a last, two or three possession game, and like I said, most time the best player at the end, find a way to win it. That's what I thought. When we played Houston, the King just found a way to win it.
And ain't nothing like New York. We're gonna blame that. We're gonna blame it on OJ. That's what we do.
No, I ain't gonna blame OJ. OJ was riding around. OJ was listening to the radio. That's why he didn't pull over. He was listening to the game.
OAC.
Y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. Both of y'all wrong. Y'all better go say your prayers, get on the knees.
OJ said it's tied up at 77. I gotta keep watching. I gotta keep listening to me. He said, give me about 10 more minutes. I'll pull over.
Hold on. I got money on the game.
Hey,
I want to ask you guys and wrap it up. And Rick, forgive me. I just was curious because we're looking at college basketball go through this crazy transformation from obviously what it is now, and it can't be hidden anymore. It is a professional league. Do you guys ever have any aspirations of perhaps maybe going to that level, or if somebody came to you guys and say, hey, would you come in and try to help teach some of these guys? Because right now, when we're talking about the transfer portal, you're getting guys only for maybe 1 year. And in that year, with so much on the line to try to develop and win, to keep people happy, he's got to have these guys to be able to evolve and develop. I'll start with you, Oak. If you ever had a situation where, again, somebody said, hey, would you come down here and really work with some guys and stuff like that? Is there any interest in doing so?
Man, they not asking us to work with these guys. They can't control these guys themselves, and these young guys don't want to hear it. In the transfer portal, they blew that. They should have been paying guys way back in the days $1,000, $2,000. They wouldn't even saying nothing about no money. Long they had to go get some popcorn, take the girl to the movie or something. Now they just let it get out of hand. So now, hey, they got to pay. So I'm glad the guys getting the money. I don't know what they're doing with it, but getting the money, giving their parents a chance to, to grow, not paying for scholarship and friends and family. But my thing is, I mean, they getting the money for years, the championships, playoff, and all that NCAA. Hey, now it's time to pay back. And the guys in the portal, and then all these different rules, restrictions, this and that. You can get $5 million 1 year, then go to another school. I like that. Don't call for the veteran. Everybody holler now. We've been hollering. Y'all didn't listen.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Gerald, knowing some guys that we had on, we had Derek Smith's son on there. We had Nolan, who's at Tennessee
Right.
State,
Yeah.
and I asked him that question last week. But when I look at it like Johnny Dawkins, we have a few former players that played in the NBA that are coaching it. And I
Right.
asked him, I said, how you deal with that? Well, you got to have some rules a little bit on the team because, man, if we got $100 back then, if you looking around that booster gate, you slipped you a quick hundo or something like that, you go,
Right.
wow. But if we got caught, we were suspended. I
Right.
mean, we had to sit out a whole year, even if we transferred. But the money is so great now, even in college sports, where a lot of guys are transferred 4 years. And next thing you know, they already got a nest egg sitting on
Right.
7 million. Hopefully they invested it right. So I
Right.
mean, I ain't mad at it, but they should have been doing it before.
Yep. They should have been doing it before. They wouldn't have to worry about it. So, and then now I like it because everybody got a chance. It don't matter if you go to Duke, Kansas, no matter. If you got two guys, like I said, like Indiana in football, you get you two veterans been around about 5 or 6 years, bring them in there. These young boys don't want that contact. They're like football.
And
They
that's
sell. Well, Indiana, they average age was 23, 24. Okay, they had eligibility. They went
they had
uneligible.
they had grown ass men. That's what they
Right,
had.
grown
They had
man.
somebody that went through some things and said, you know what?
Right,
I'll
there
go
you
back here and
go.
mess with these little teenagers and rough
Yeah,
them up and win a championship.
But you
yep.
know what's interesting is everybody's complaining about the age and all that stuff. Them European players was doing that years ago. Nobody said
Yeah.
anything. When them
Nope.
guys coming over there playing professional basketball and then coming over and in college, nobody was saying anything. But it's funny when it's the American.
Well, you know, hey, European players, they want look at their arm. It's different color. It's a different color.
Listen, hey,
Hey,
always,
one
man.
thing, hold on, Oak. I always loved you. We battled because
Yeah,
we looking at each other coming from our rival schools.
Right.
But I love you, boy, like nobody's business because you know what you always been with me. You kept it real, and this is
I
what I love
appreciate it.
about you, man.
Thank you,
Always
man.
nothing but love and respect. You know that.
All right.
hey,
Appreciate it, Rick.
oh,
All right,
as
Gerald.
always, man, nothing but love for you, man. Hey, always took care of me, kept it real when you were playing. I was a ball player, and I'm just
Yeah.
so proud of you, man. And I gotta say it because I didn't want to ask you. You know what? It needs to be fixed that you need to be back home in the guard, man.
Yeah, well,
And I hope that obviously that time comes sooner rather than later because you are New York. You're a part of New York. Yes, Cleveland's home and all that stuff. But you know
no
what?
doubt.
You are welcome in New York City, man. And obviously, you are not a person that they can erase and be forgotten. And when we have this platform right here, it's players like yourself that we are going to make sure we remind people out there of the greatness
Yeah,
you
I
demonstrated.
appreciate that, Gerald. Hopefully it's 9 years, and I hope this year I get my day in court. We can see what happened, really happened. And the tape is out there. You know, they had the tape on Jay. We got the tape on the guard. They won't show the tape on the guard. But it's coming. It's coming.
That's good. Well, get
All
their
right.
ass, Oak.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
all I'm talking. All right, man. Love you,
Appreciate it.
man.
All right.
Charles will be joining us here. Oh, is something else, man. And yo, unbelievable. Real quickly, let's bring on a guy that obviously does a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with us, and really a gentleman that doing our video editing. Justin Payton is joining us, and Justin is having his.
Hello.
Justin, I want to introduce you to the legendary, the mouth of the. You can't hear me. I can hear you. You can hear him. But Justin, we get his microphone all set up. But you know what? He has some takes and stuff like that. Rick, when you have guys like you and Oak, man, you know what I really appreciate about the fact is that having Oak on there is the fact is that you guys did battle so many times in the past, and yet it's no harbor, no animosity. It's like that time when you took down Michael Jordan when he played it, and that was years ago. But obviously, you guys were competitors and knew how to be able to do that. Justin Payton is joining us. I don't know what's going on. I think Rick is losing some of his, I guess, his whole setup with his internet. Justin, yeah, I'm glad you were here, man. Justin Payton with us here on the Bottom Line Sports Show. Rick will be back and stuff. Justin, give us your take on the things. First and foremost, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm rocking the Stone Cold hoodie right here because it's WrestleMania season while the NBA playoffs is going on too as well. WrestleMania this weekend, I don't know if I'm going to get into it. I might have both things while watching this weekend. So, I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, that's wonderful. I was introducing Rick Mahorn and stuff like that. Rick, are you back? I think Rick is having an issue with his internet and stuff like that. We can't hear you, Rick. Turn your microphone
I
on.
paid my bill. I paid my bill.
I hope you did.
I paid my bill.
I hope you did. But I
hope you didn't pay.
See, there you go. See? Because that mouth.
You heard that, didn't you?
No, we didn't hear. Justin does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes for us with our clips and our editing and stuff like that. And Justin is a huge, big fan of the NBA. And obviously, we want to bring him on periodically. Give us your takes and stuff like that. You have some questions for us. So, Justin, fire away.
Yeah, man. You know, the NBA playoffs is right here. You know, the playing tournament starts tonight right here. First thing I want to talk about too as well is because Rick Mahorn's right there. So, you know, Pistons and
You hate
Celtics, you
Detroit?
know. I mean, it's you know, I
You
gotta be
hate
careful what I
Detroit?
say right here. I gotta be
You
careful
can
what I
say
say.
whatever you want. Hey, this is your platform. Go for it.
Well,
I,
I
I,
want to go
I
ahead
ain't
and
got
talk
beef.
about the. Oh, well, I'm glad. I just want to make sure I'm coming respectfully right here. So I want to go ahead and talk about the Boston Celtics because it's just
Where's
like
my
they can't.
where's my mic? Where's my I'm gonna hang this. Where is it? Go ahead. What about the damn Celtics?
Well, like, you know, at the beginning of the season, I was like saying, like, oh, yeah, Boston probably might end up being a play-in. They might not make the playoffs and all that with Jason Tatum going down and stuff. Then, just like this season, they just like surprised everybody, and they're the number 2 seed in the East. Became one of the best teams. Jaylen Brown had probably the best year of his career, and they just playing great basketball. And Coach Mazzulla deserves much praise, Coach of the Year and everything. I just got a
What
question.
coach of the year? What?
What? I mean, Joe Mazzulla might be coach of the year the way he's playing, the way the team is playing. I mean, you got to think about it, Rick. I mean, like 55 wins.
Don't hit him, Rick. Don't hit him, Rick. Just
55
don't hit him.
55 wins, 4 straight years. I mean, like, hey, they're playing great basketball. Offensive, defensive rating, they're in the top 5. Like, they're playing great basketball. That's what I said.
So who's number
I
one in
gotta
the
be careful
defense?
with my words because, you know, like I said.
Look. Who's number one in defense right now?
I mean, do I really have to?
Let me look over my left shoulder. Oh,
Do I really have to
team
say?
right
Do I
there.
really have to say it? Look, I'm gonna
Okay,
give Pistons some love.
you
I'm gonna give
wait
the
a minute.
Pistons some
How come you
love.
got hate on? Why you got hate on Detroit, man? Because you got that
I'm not
Chicago
hating on
White
Detroit.
Sox hat on.
I'm not hating on Detroit.
Who's your fan? What are you a fan of? What team?
I'm a Celtics fan. Like as you can see here with this Jason Tatum jersey right here, that number 0, and
Somebody
then your boy right
must
here.
have gave that. Somebody must have gave you that ugly ass shit.
Hey, listen. I remember that game 5 right here with that steal, you know, with Dennis Johnson and Larry Bird right here. I got that Larry Bird jersey right here on that left side.
Hey, we got a few more minutes. Get to your point. This is bullshit. All right.
Well, you know, come on, Justin. Come on.
Hey, come on now. No, so my question about the Celtics, though, in all honesty, is like, how far can they make it into the playoffs based on what we know in terms of, like, you know, Jason Tatum being back, you know, not really close to 100%, but he's been playing good basketball. Jaylen Brown having a great year.
Let me say this to you about the Boston Celtics. They're a very well coached team. They're seasoned veterans. Guys have really stepped their game up for them to, you know, when Tatum went down, everybody put them, oh, they're going to be a playing team. But one thing about a team, everybody comes there and listens to all the questions out there saying, the naysayers saying, they can't do this, they can't do this. Well, they did it. And yeah, Joe Mazzulla did a great job of having less and getting more. But I mean, when it comes to it, it's all about the health. If Tatum's healthy, if he's on that damn court, it ain't no 80%. It ain't no 90%. It's 100%. Cade Cunningham collapsed lung. He's on the court. These are the things that we look at as professional athletes. If I'm not 100%, then I'm gonna go sit my ass somewhere else. But I look at this and say, Boston did a hell of a job this year. Biggest thing that I would look at, they would have to win a championship to get that, you know, get back into that same conversation of being one of the best teams. So I'm not discounting them because they play good defense. They play good offense. They got a lot of one-on-one players. They got spot up 3-point shooters. So I don't have anything against them, but I just hate the Celtics.
Hey, you know, I think the same thing about the Celtics. You know, it's matchups. I mean, obviously on paper, I would say that they have a shot over the Knicks. But look, I think the Knicks match up very well against the Boston Celtics. But you know what?
Hell.
Like Rick said, the Detroit Pistons
I'm done with both of you two because you in that Knicks seat and you used to work for the Celtics and you still looking for your jacket. Your ass got on a damn White Sox hat and not a Red Sox hat. Man, y'all both of y'all would need y'all asses whooped. Get your ass. I got a boy. If I had a belt on, I'd come there and I'd be putting belt to ass on both of y'all because y'all some suckers. That's some suckers. That's what y'all are. And nobody eating these. Oh, the Boston soup. Nobody eating no damn clam chowder, and nobody like them damn chopped cheese bullshit.
Justin, get to your next point before he bounce out real quick.
Yeah, no, yeah. Okay, I respect that opinion and everything. I'm very interesting to see about this play-in tournament right here because, like, a team like the Hornets, like they caught fire in the
All
second
right,
half of
who
the
you scared
season.
of, man? Who you scared of in the playing game? Playing game. Who you scared of?
I'm
Scared
not
of
scared of anything.
Orlando?
I was just talking. I'm just trying to talk like good basketball right here. So, like, like I said, this play-in tournament is like, with the, like I said, the Hornets like going against the Heat tonight. Like, I'm kind of like in and out, like who I'm thinking is going to win and all that. I still say like the Hornets just because of like the offensive firepower, and they also step up defensively too as well. Ever since the All-Star break, like I'm thinking the Hornets could get into that 8th seed right here. I forgot
Yeah, then
Philadelphia.
guess who they play if they in that AC?
Who are they playing?
Let me see that thing over my shoulder. Oh,
Hey, you
and
know
and,
what?
No,
and
it
you
doesn't
got
matter at this point. It
all
doesn't
you
matter at
all
this
you
point.
do and all you got is jerseys hanging up on frame them suckers, sucker.
Hey,
You
you know what?
got he got a Hardaway, whatever. Which Hardaway is that? Tim Hardaway?
Oh, that's Penny, man.
You better get that. Does he have a ring? Oh, I forgot. I'm out, man. I love you guys. I'm out. It's
Hey,
whatever,
hey,
just
you
whatever
know
the
what?
hell and
Real
what.
quick, before we let you get on out of here, Justin, I want to ask you guys both that before we close out the show, and Justin's going to be checking in periodically with his Justin takes. I know. I want to ask you guys, when you look at the whole situation in Milwaukee, obviously Doc Rivers was shown the door, and he won't be returning. You have Giannis specifying that, you know what, it was a lot that was taking place this year, and really, again, he's still open to possibly coming back next season. I'll start with you, Rick. When you look at the whole dynamic in Milwaukee, what do you make of this? And was this really just a product of the fact is that the Milwaukee Bucks were hesitant to trade Giannis before the season
What?
started or at the All-Star break and move on and not handle this mess?
Here's the thing: when you look at it, Giannis is an NBA superstar. He's a NBA champion. It's a guy that can say what he wants and do what he wants. Doc Rivers is an excellent coach. It's just the fact that you didn't have the talent that you thought you would have at that particular time. You get Miles Turner, but Lopez is gone because he did his job. And then Lopez goes to the Clippers, and then then you bring in Miles Turner, who was in the championship last year, but he's not what Lopez did for Giannis. You got to have complementary players. Then you got, Chris Middleton got hurt, and then they traded him. And I mean, in Holiday, it's like you still ain't keep your nucleus together. That's like trading Jason Tatum and saying, "Okay, Brown, this is it." No, you got to keep those people together.
Giannis has to have, really take on some of that blame because he said that this was a mess. Obviously, he wasn't really solidified in if he wanted to be there. It's been all this rumbling back and forth. Justin, when you look at the whole situation with Giannis in Milwaukee, do Giannis deserve some of the blame also?
I mean, when you have your own brother as a bench player and all that,
Well,
you
you
could
got
have
two brothers, not
two
one
brothers.
brother.
Yeah, two brothers.
Two.
You could like got some money for some other players too as
Well,
well.
LeBron got his son. What are we missing, man? This is a family affair. Let him go. Do what you do.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
have
That's
my
what I'm
brother.
saying. Exactly.
I'd have my brother if I had that kind of power. I'm just saying.
Would you let me play? You'd have got me
Hell
on
no,
that?
because all I need is giving me towels and some water. Water, boy.
I see you shave.
Yeah, whatever, ball boy. I'm out, man. I ain't got time.
Appreciate you,
Peace,
JP, hanging out
peace,
with us.
hey, peace, love, and hair grease. Love you, brothers. Y'all be good. I
Love you
gotta
too,
go.
Rick.
Appreciate you.
Rick Mahorn is out of here. Don't forget, back tomorrow. Going to have another show. Eton Thomas is going to hang out and stuff, as well as Mr. Anthony Morrow will be hanging out and stuff. JP, let everybody know again what you got going on, as well as where they can find your stuff.
Yeah, man. You can find me on social media. It's just JP on pretty much all the platforms. What I got coming up is the Anthony Morrow interview that's going to be coming out next Monday. And we had like a great 2-hour conversation with some stuff that he never really told a lot of different people, unless like you really do your research and everything. So I can't wait to put that out, and just doing a lot of different stories and all that. And just look out for some more interviews in the future.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a question in the chat. What time we're usually on? So we usually on. Obviously, we're on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and most of the time we'll switch things around due to Rick's schedule if the Detroit Pistons are playing. So obviously next week we got some things that obviously we'll switch and finagle with, just based upon his availability, because obviously he still works with the Detroit Pistons. But next week, I believe we already got lined up. Mr. Vernon Mad Maxwell will be joining us. So we are going to have a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. But again, that is going to be R-rated. I know they going to just be all that stuff.
Oh, man.
Definitely. And make sure, thanks again for subscribing and stuff. Boom Bap. Thanks so much for subscribing. Hey, join the family of the Bottom Line Sports Show. And just FYI, if you go to the YouTube page, the history of the Bottom Line Sports Show just didn't start recently on YouTube. Got a ton of stuff there from family members like Penny Hardaway, who will be joining us once the transfer portal is all done with. We'll have Penny come on. So as the playoffs, we're going to be doing multiple shows, and JP Justin is going to be coming back, because we're going to be doing playoff shows throughout the whole playoffs. So it's not just going to be one night. Might be 2 nights, might be 3 nights. We are definitely going to do that, and it's always going to be some amazing guests, and we always do it for you, the fans. JP, really appreciate you, as always, hanging out. Like to thank the one and only Mr. Charles Oakley. And I said it before, and I say it again. I love the New York Knicks. But it's time for the olive branch to be extended. Bring Oak back home before it gets too late. Let's do it sooner than later. I think James Dolan, who's been a wonderful governor for the New York Knicks, has done a phenomenal job, really has put a lot into trying to bring a winner to New York City. This was an unfortunate situation, but it's clearly gone on far too long. Charles Oakley needs to be a part of that family. And obviously, he can be a little stubborn, but definitely we'd love to see him be a part of that family real soon, and continue on. So the playoffs are here. The Bottom Line Sports Show ain't going nowhere. For Charles Oakley, Rick Mahorn, Justin Payton, I'm Gerald Brown. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Anthony Morrow and Eton Thomas. Bottom Line Sports Show's out. Peace. Yo.